forgot to pack hair ties, so it's just a rubber band. So that's gonna suck coming out later.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Well, you know what they say, the higher the hair, the closer to God.
The closer you are to Jesus. Amen.
Hey, y'all, it
I
is
can't, yeah.
Friday, or as Kirsten likes to call it, Friday. And it is the 30th, the last day of June, because 30 days hath September, April, June, and November. All the rest have 31, except for February, which is just a little bitch. Um,
Oh, that's one heck of a rhyme.
That was so
Spitting
aggressive.
bars.
yeah, because, February just can't decide, right? It's like every 4 years it goes, fuck this, I'm going to have an extra day. Um, are we getting flagged now because of my language?
I
No.
don't think so. Knock on
So,
wood.
in case you haven't noticed, I am not 100% today. I did not sleep terribly well. I had like a crick in my neck all night. I was trying to get rid of it, and it's better now. So I'm going to go take a nap when we're done here. And this is what one of the things that I have always loved about being self-employed is that I get to take naps. For a while, I did this contract at an internet hosting company in Phoenix, and I was the like the lead developer or something, and and there was this other developer there who kept a blanket and a pillow under his desk. And, every afternoon after lunch, it was siesta time, and he'd be out for an hour or so. And he's still one of my best friends.
That's
That's Clive. I
my
really
issue
like
with
him.
naps is like I either have to take like a 20 to 30 minute power nap or like multiple hours. Anything
Yeah.
in between
Right.
is just
I think that's pretty
I
normal.
feel okay.
I think that's pretty normal. So, yeah, so I don't got a lot going on. So I have instructed Ricky and Kirsten a long time ago to always have something for the days when I just come up empty. So take it away, kids.
I'd like to
Well,
talk about HOAs.
You want to talk about HOAs?
Yep. And Kirsten wants to talk about, let's see. Let's hear it.
were you the one that wrote the HOA comment on the game last night?
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, that was her. She has HOA on the brain because so the property that you're getting, is that have an HOA?
Yes, but according to the reviews, it's a good one. There's another one that's actually very, very close to Bear House, like within walking distance to Bear House. If you walk like, I don't know, a mile, which to me, that's walking distance.
Well, not in this heat.
Exactly, not in this heat. It's like maybe 3/4 mile. Not too bad. But it is that whole complex is under litigation right now because that HOA was so bad. And I went down this rabbit hole the other day, just reading through all the Yelp comments for this place. And it was so interesting to see because water would go out. The whole place was infested with cockroaches. They wanted like $30,000 more than the main place I'm looking at now because it is a better location, but the complex itself was just so bad.
Yeah.
Like the mailboxes kept getting broken into, and it's just sounded like a whole headache and nightmare. I was like, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah. So, for those of us, for those in our audience who aren't familiar with the terminology, HOA stands for what?
Homeowners Association.
Yeah. So there's some areas or facilities or properties in the U.S. where they're under contract with a homeowners association that governs the usage of the properties within their jurisdiction. They'll govern stupid shit like what color you can paint your house, or how well you take care of your yard, or stuff like that. And but they also, you know, take care of things like you know, maintenance of the common areas and those sorts of things. And I hate them. I hate HOAs with the fire of 1,000 suns.
Yep.
And I refuse. When I was looking for a house, you know, when I moved here, I specifically no HOA. And yeah, Kirsten, go ahead.
I was going to say when we lived in Tennessee, we lived in a neighborhood and part of the neighborhood was HOA, but we lived kind of in like the redheaded stepchild section, where there was
I
no
love that expression, by the way. I use that expression as well.
there was no HOA, but we were still under something called city ordinance, where
Right.
like you had to follow the rules laid out by the city or the county.
Yeah.
And we didn't follow any of the rules, obviously. You know me. I've told you stories about my husband. Rules where we've never heard of them. You know, because we had chickens and turkeys and pheasants and ducks and dogs and all kinds of like toys in our driveway. You know, we had trailers and boats and Jeeps and just ridiculous. But our favorite thing, because nobody else on the street cared, except for, of course, you know, there's one Karen who was like, we were the first house on this street and everybody's coming in and it looks like poop and blah, 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 blah. So after she posted it publicly, like on the Facebook page or whatever, not so much me because I'm not a confrontational person, but Chase made it his mission to just absolutely make their lives miserable. Like anything extra he could do, not like physically to them, not approaching them, not harassing them, but just one extra thing we could throw in the yard, you know, freaking plastic flamingo, or they hated that we had kids. They hated that we had kids and we would bring out like water slides and like bouncy houses and stuff so that they could play and stay cool in the summertime. Oh, they couldn't stand it. Absolutely chapped their asses. So you have to be careful because even when there's no HOA, there's still city ordinances in some places. And then you've got people like that live on your streets.
You know,
really gotta, like, do your due diligence.
The city ordinances, there's not much you can do about that. You know, that's just has to do.
Yeah, no.
The city where I live is not actually a city. This is an unincorporated part of Clark County. And so I don't really know what the rules are here, but I have a neighbor who's, you know, last night they were up in the middle of the night, like loading their truck. They run a business out of their house and it's like a warehouse for these coin operator video games, and they'll pull these trucks up and they'll leave them in the truck in the street for, you know, weeks and weeks. And it does bother me. I don't like waking up and, you know, and that's like my view out my front door every day. And, you know, so, you know, I could argue either side of that. But the HOAs are just evil. They take your money, for, you know, just so that they can tell you how to live in your house. You know, I know that if we had an HOA here, when I decided to put solar in my house, I'd have had to go through them and with all, you know, in addition to all the permits with the city and all. And, you know, it's just a waste of time and money. It's really interesting. One day a for sale sign showed up in front of my house. And I called the realtor on the thing. And I said, this must be a mistake because my house is not for sale. And he says, oh, that's just generally for the neighborhood, you know. And I said, well, there aren't any houses for sale in this neighborhood. And he says, oh, well, I got permission from the HOA. And I said, we don't have an HOA. And you're lying to me, and I'm just going to take your sign and, you know, throw it away. He's like, oh, don't do that. Those signs are expensive. I says, okay, you've got 1 hour. You know, I can't make it over there. Well, in 1 hour, I'm going to take that sign and I'm going to trash it. And, you know, I mean, it's on my property. You can't just do this. And he showed up, but he was very, very mad.
I don't know what would give him the right to be mad in that situation.
Oh, people don't need a rational reason to be mad. Anger is rarely rational.
Yeah, but
Anger
geez.
is a mask of fear.
If no house is for sale, then that was just a waste of his time.
He
That's
just
so
wanted to catch
stupid.
people who were driving by the neighborhood who were looking for a nice house and have them call him, and he would say, "Oh, well, that house is already sold, but I got these other houses here."
But that's just lying.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. And people will justify all kinds of things. I have this expression, I'm sure you've heard it before: no one is the villain in their own mythology. People
Yeah,
will
I
justify
guess.
whatever behavior they feel like justifying. And it takes actual discipline to, watch your own actions and watch your own motivations. And most of us fail miserably at it. So that's my upbeat message for the day.
Well, let's just keep it on brand with angry people. Me and Ricky were just talking about this before we went live, and she got to the bottom of it very quickly for me. But I just went and did some more research, because right next to the city that we just moved from, the city is Royce City, and they've got a big Buc-ee's there. That's like the closest one to us pretty much. And I got a text message earlier from my dad saying, "Hey, there's an active shooter in Royce City." And I'm terrible. My first thought was like, oh my gosh, somebody went in and shot up the Buc-ee's. Like, that's going to give Buc-ee's a bad rap. Like, what is wrong with people?
People will be trying to decide which is more dangerous, Buc-ee's or Luby's.
Exactly.
You remember Luby's, right?
Yes,
You remember the
I
Luby's?
love Luby's.
Well, you remember the Luby's that got shot up.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, so that was like a thing. Yeah.
So, but now I can't decide if this is better or worse than Buc-ee's, because she went into the Royce City Medical Lodge, which is a rehabilitation center.
Oh man.
And started firing a rifle. Luckily, nobody was hurt, nobody was injured, nobody was shot. Everybody's okay. She's in custody. That's what Ricky found out for me. She just did a little, real quick. But nobody knows who she is. Nobody knows why she did it. Like, they don't know if she had a purpose going in there, or
she may not have.
Like, what?
She may not have.
She needed some rehabilitation, mental.
This is the problem with just giving guns to anybody. And this is definitely a Texas thing. It's weird. When I lived in Texas, hey Gary, good to see you. When I lived in Texas, it was hard to get a gun. You needed a permit, you needed training, you needed, and this is not that long ago. This is like 20 years ago. And I already had a permit from when I had lived in Arizona, and I had been doing training. And and now it's like they've just removed all of the regulations, and it's this right-wing macho bullshit thing that, oh, you can't, you can't try, or a right to have a gun, and then the crazies get them, and they go and they shoot up a grade school or whatever, and they're still not willing to look at it and look at their decisions honestly and say, well, maybe this isn't such a great idea. The amount of hypocrisy is just palpable. But that's the world we're living in right now, and that would be my reaction too if I had enough hair to do that.
I can give you some
there you go,
hanging out the back.
Yeah,
we need a little trim. Actually, Ricky might have some to spare. She might have some.
Yeah.
Does it go down to the floor yet, Ricky?
Not quite yet, and I swear I keep cutting it.
Promise. The fact that you have to make a promise to us.
It's her hair isn't actually that long. It's just that she's that short.
Well, I guess it's a combination.
A little combo action. That rose gold color that she's got in it right now, that would be a good look for you, Bear. Mm-hmm. It's like
Yeah, I'm not. Did
human haired.
oh, you broke up completely. You must be at the new house.
Yeah, I told you last night that I was
Yeah,
here.
well,
Remember? Because I
you
was like,
expect me to
running
keep
and-
track of these things. That's your job.
yes, I do. Yes, I do. I do expect
I
you.
believe
I know where I
well,
am all hours of the day.
I apologize for your unreasonable expectations. Uh, all right, listen, kids. That's all I got. I'm sitting here falling asleep at the wheel. So have a great day. We love you. Okay, so here's the announcements we need to make. Next week is a federal holiday in the United States. The federal holiday falls on a Tuesday, which means that most people take off Monday and Tuesday as well. And so we're actually going to. Oh, and what holiday is this? This is the 247th anniversary of the day when John Hancock embarrassed himself by scribbling his name so big that everybody else had to squeeze their names in to sign the Declaration of Independence. And I'm certain that he died a few years later of embarrassment over the fact. It is the 247th anniversary of that event when John Hancock just scribbled his name all over the bottom of this thing and made everybody else had to, like squeeze theirs in. So that happens on the 4th of July, which is Tuesday. And so we're actually going to take Monday and Tuesday off. And we will be back with our regular live stream schedule on Wednesday. And I think the plan is to do evening live stream, to do our daily live stream on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday as normal at 11 a.m. Pacific. And our 6 p.m. 1800 live streams in the evening on Wednesday, which is the 5th, and Friday, which is the 7th, Gesundheit.
Thank you.
And so that's the plan. So we got a long weekend here coming up. I know that Ricky and Kirsten have decided to work very hard over the long weekend, or at least parts of it. And I have encouraged them. I promise you, I've encouraged them to take some time for themselves. This is also an annual celebration. It's one of 2 or 3 annual celebrations where Americans go out and buy high explosives and try to blow themselves and their neighborhoods up. And they call it fireworks. I call it triggering my PTSD. I don't know. I tend to just hide in my house with noise canceling headphones on, just hoping that nobody blows my house up. There is now a movement in Southern Nevada to try and outlaw personal fireworks, because they got the professional fireworks down on the Strip, and it's not that far away, and you can see it from all over the city. I mean, you just go out your front door and look up in the sky, and it's like boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
Rockets, red glare, bombs bursting in air. Yes, those are actual lyrics from our national anthem. The U.S. is so crazy violent a place. Don't come. And so yes, Kirsten, I'm sitting here ranting about how crazy this holiday is. Kirsten, you've frozen. You have your hand up, but you appear to have frozen.
All the fun.
Wait,
Okay.
okay,
Can
go
you
ahead.
hear me? No?
Yeah, try it now.
How about now?
Yeah, try
Quick.
it
Okay. Fun fact about the national anthem: the tune was taken from an old drinking song.
now. It's true.
Wow. I never
This
knew
is
that.
true.
And I
Yeah.
found that out from my either my 8th grade or my 9th grade history teacher. She told us that, and that
Yeah.
just poor memory.
Yeah. And I got to say, every time there's like a national sporting event and some famous singer comes out and just butchers the shit out of the national anthem,
Well,
I'm always like, that song has defeated greater singers than you.
Well, that is
It-
because that song is very, very difficult. Like there's a very high
Yeah.
range to that song.
Yeah, it's like
Goes
almost
from-
4 octaves. Yeah,
Exactly. It's a
ridiculous.
hard, and especially a cappella, which
Yeah,
it normally is. It's pretty
yeah.
difficult.
So, yeah, I mean, I used to when I would interview potential singers for my bands, I would have them sing that song a cappella.
You're
just
giving
to
me
torture them.
flashbacks.
Just to
Back it.
torture
Oh
them.
my gosh. Back it.
You
back
got to
in
make
high-
sure you start at the bottom of your range.
Oh.
Oh, say, can you see
Yep.
by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed? Yeah. It is that song has defeated many a great singer. There's only been a few. Whitney Houston did it great. I thought that Lady Gaga did it really great at the inauguration. There's been a few, but the ones who are able to do it, they prepare. They prepare and they write out the score and yeah. It's a thing. Boy, have we gotten off the yes, but anyway, that's what's coming up this coming week, and I'm sure we'll have lots of stories of explosions and missing digits and limbs, and and just me sitting here. I may even show up with my noise canceling headphones. So that's next week. So we will see you Wednesday morning. Same bat time, same bat channel. This is Bearheart, Kirsten, and Rick Hitty signing off. We love you.